The Bitcoin spot ETF was approved earlier this week, and based on the news, we saw the altcoin market ripping as the market begins to price in the next potential spot ETF, which most likely looks to be Ethereum. So in today's video, we are going to bring you the biggest altcoin gems within the Ethereum ecosystem and break down why I believe they are going to be massive players over the next couple of months, outperforming not only Bitcoin, but also ETH itself. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor do I offer any sort of financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find the videos informative and or entertaining, please consider hitting that sub and like button and turning that notification bell on so you can be notified when all of my latest videos go live. Now with that, we're going to hop right into today's video where I'm going to bring you what I believe to be some of the best coins within the Ethereum ecosystem, as I do think a lot of shift in focus is going to be back on ETH after it was a big underperformer last year, underperforming, not only Bitcoin, but also other alt layer ones like Solana and AVAX. I think now that the Bitcoin spot ETF has been approved, people are beginning to recognize that Ether is most likely next in line to potentially see billions of dollars worth of inflows through a spot ETF from traditional asset managers. So this is a trade we have been talking about quite a bit on the channel moving into the new year. We spoke about it here in this video that we published a couple of weeks ago. Top 3 layer 1 cryptos for 2024. I put ETH at spot number 1. And then this video right here, these 3 altcoins are breaking out now. Top 3 crypto list for January. We once again actually put Optimism in first place in Ethereum layer 2. But basically said you could bundle all of the Ether layer 2s in this category as the Ethereum ecosystem does heat up. And that does still remain true, and that does actually lead us into spot number 3 for this list. And this is going to be a big triple whammy. So what we are talking about here for spot number 3, we are talking about Arbitrum, we are talking about Optimism, and we are talking about Polygon. So Arbitrum here is actually making a new all-time high at the moment. We can actually see that its previous all-time high came in at about $1.80, and it currently sits at about $2.30 as of the time of this recording. And over the past 14 days alone, right, this thing has basically gone from, $1.45 up to that level. Let's take a look at the 90-day. And Arbitrum was trading under $1 not too long ago, right? It was actually at about 78 cents back in October. And now it currently sits at about $2.30. So Arbitrum has definitely seen a nice run, but I do still believe it has a lot more room to run. Optimism here as well is not making new all-time highs at the moment. It did that actually after we made our last video, and it is currently in the process of testing new all-time highs as we actually speak. Now, the one laggard in this group that I do think is interesting is Polygon. So Polygon is the biggest by market cap. Both Optimism and Arbitrum are valued at about 2.7 billion. Polygon is actually valued at 8.4 billion, okay? However, if you take a look at the Polygon chart, this thing is not as, it's definitely not moved as much as Arbitrum and Optimism have recently. It's kind of been a laggard of the layer 2 group, okay? So Optimism here, the thing about Optimism is that they definitely do have some very interesting partnerships and collaborations, right? We know that Coinbase as a layer 2 solution was actually built using the OP stack, and this is their modular code powering OP mainnet and the superchain. And the superchain is basically building towards a unified future that doesn't fracture all of the Optimism ecosystem, but actually silos them into a single cohesive layer 2. Polygon is looking to achieve something very similar with their Polygon 2.0 announcement here, in which they're basically looking to build a layer 2 that is also fully interoperable, basically creating just a massive ecosystem that is built on top of Ethereum, but using these layer 2 solutions for cheaper fees. And Arbitrum, once again, very similar. There are a lot more, technical differences if you do want to get into kind of like the nitty gritty of that. But at the end of the day, all these layer 2s are basically looking to be cohesive with Ethereum and basically create a shared liquidity space to not fragment it amongst these different layer 2s. So all of these 3 layer 2 solutions come in at spot number 3. Now there is also more of like a smaller cap pick, and that's Métis DAO. This is a smaller cap layer 2 with about a $486 million market cap, so definitely a lot smaller than the other ones. And we can actually see here on the max chart that this thing at all-time highs above $300, currently sits at $95, but it was at $20 back in early December. So it definitely has moved a lot more than Arbitrum and Optimism. And I do think that's mainly because it just is a smaller market cap. So, you know, if these layer 2s are big beta plays on Ethereum, then Métis DAO would basically kind of be like the beta play of the layer 2 space, more or less. And that is why layer 2s do come in at spot number 3. And now we are going to hop in to spot number 2. But first, I want to take a brief moment to shout out Candy City. This is not a paid promotion, although we have done work with them in the past. They have launched a crypto mobile game that is live in both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Now, you guys know we are big fans of Crocoin and the Chronos chain here on the channel, and this game is in fact on the Chronos blockchain. You can see here that it is very similar to Candy Crush, but it is in fact a crypto native game that integrates both their native token as well as their board Candy NFTs. The team is set to ship about 3 more games this year as well, and they are continuing to build out features for Candy City, including a new multiplayer feature that has just recently launched, which does offer Candy token as rewards. So shout out to the Candy team for this launch, and I will leave a link to their Twitter in the description down below, so you can feel free to check it out for yourself if you so please. Now, moving in to spot number 2, okay, we do actually have Ethereum lending protocols such as MakerDAO, as well as Aave. So MakerDAO here, we can actually see MakerDAO basically is just a big lending platform on Ether, but it does go far beyond that. They do also have DAI, DAI, their very own stablecoin. Let me actually find it right here. And they also have over 400 apps and services integrated their stablecoin, including wallets, DeFi platforms, games, and more. And yeah, MakerDAO is huge. Okay, so this is their actual token here, and I want to actually pull this up from a technical perspective. So let me actually get this up here on TradingView. And this is a pretty interesting setup, okay, for both Maker as well as Aave, which is the other Ethereum lending platform, which we are going to cover in this video. So from a technical perspective, let me actually get Maker up here. Sorry, I didn't have this in advance, but I already know exactly what I want to look at with these coins, because they look super interesting to me. You know, I need to get the Coinbase one, because it has all the price history for Maker. I'm keeping a very close eye on these charts. Okay, if we actually zoom out here and take a look at Maker, you're going to notice that Maker finally made a clean break above its 2018 all-time highs, okay? And this historically, you know, when you break above a major area of resistance like that, once again, like a prior cycle all-time high, you do tend to see a pretty explosive move to the upside. We can actually see here that it got rejected at this level a couple of times, and then boom, finally broke above this level in convincing fashion. And even from that breakout at about 18, or even at 1567, it is currently up about 28% from that level, okay? Now, the 2018 all-time high was a little bit closer to, you know, 1800 on the wicks, but you can see most of the candles came in that area around the 1500, you know, area more or less. So really nice breakout there for Maker. And then for Aave, once again, like a pretty similar setup. If we actually take a look, if anything, Aave is actually looking like it's kind of moving behind Maker a little bit. If we take a look at Aave right now, Aave is kind of doing this thing where it's basically like range bound here. Actually, you know what Aave looks to me a lot like is Link. Okay, if we actually line up the Aave with the Link chart, which I'm going to do for you guys right now. Yeah, Aave to Link. So to me, if we just take a look at the 5-year chart, I mean, or actually, no, we're going to zoom in here. Aave looks a lot to me like Chainlink looked like here in this consolidation phase before it broke out. we basically saw, if we take a look at Link, which is the orange lines on this chart right now, we saw Link get rejected multiple times here at an area of resistance, and then boom, when it broke out, it made a massive move to the upside. And yeah, to me, Aave just kind of looks exactly like what Chainlink looked like in early summer of last year. And we were talking a lot about Link in that consolidation phase. Aave looks very similar to me, also benefiting once again, just from the broader narrative and the focus on Ethereum. Now, coming in at spot number 1, and it is worth mentioning, by the way, that this is in no particular order, okay? But coming in at spot number 1, we have 2 liquid staking protocols, both Lido DAO and their Lido token, as well as Rocket Pool with their RPL token. So we were talking about liquid staking tokens. It was early last year when we had just seen Ethereum staking withdrawals go live. There was a lot of hype behind liquid staking at the time that Lido was benefiting from, being the biggest player in the space. And this is when we were talking about this project right here. You can see this run here went from like 93 cents up to about, I think it was like just in the mid $3 area. We were talking about it here in this range, as it did look like it wanted to break above some pretty heavy area of resistances. And now it is well above that resistance on the chart, currently sitting at about $3.87. And you can just see here, based on the price action, right? Like, there is a lot of historical price action at this level. All-time highs for this coin come in at about the $6.50 range. And yeah, I mean, just like a lot of other Ethereum tokens, just like Ethereum itself, Lido DAO is now making, I want to say this is almost 2-year highs, like basically like a year and a half new highs. And yeah, that is a good look for tokens like this, especially when you do have a lot of hype behind the underlying ecosystem. Now, Rocket Pool as well, we can see here that it's kind of had this double top on the charts at about the $55 area. However, there is also a lot of resistance for this coin at about the $32 mark, which it has just broken above and currently is trading at $36.51. I mean, if we do see a lot more hype behind the Ethereum ecosystem, then these tokens definitely could continue to move. Now, the one reason I think liquid staking tokens could be a big beneficiary of this is with Ethereum ETFs coming. I think that a very popular option is going to be for asset managers to actually stake the Ethereum they are holding for clients. I think it's actually pretty incentivizing for them to launch an Ethereum ETF, because if they do that, they can basically offer a spot ETF where they are holding Ether on behalf of their clients, giving them the price appreciation of the asset, but then also staking the underlying ETH to generate passive income. And, if these institutions can find a way to make passive income off of a spot ETF on top of holding ETH for clients, that definitely seems incentivizing to me. And I don't think they're going to use a liquid staking protocol. They probably have more than enough ETH to run their own nodes. However, the narrative is what matters, and if we get news of institutions staking Ethereum, I think that these tokens would most likely be big beneficiaries of that news in terms of the price action. So in spot number 3, we had layer 2s. In spot number 2, we had Ethereum lending protocols. Spot number 1, liquid staking solutions. If I had to order it, I'd probably put lending protocols in last, liquid staking solutions in second, and layer 2s first. So I did bring you guys kind of like the best stuff first. But I do think that layer 2s are probably like the highest beta Ethereum plays here if we are going to see ETH go on a nice run. So let me know what you think about this list in the comments down below. I hope you all enjoyed the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.